lovely to speak to you. How have these past 8 months been for you that everyone's addressing as the new normal? How is the new normal treating you?
As normal, because I hardly move out of the house. So for me, it's just as normal. Yes.
So, ma'am, I mean, when I watched the movie, your line in the film, when you say having a masculine front in a man's world
That's the word.
has its uses, that defines your character, Priya. And I just thought that, whoa, that's her. Did you resonate with that particular line? And,
Completely, completely, absolutely. Um, I've always thought that I'm more of a man than a woman, even in my real life. So completely agree with that line. Yes.
so, I mean, the feedback that everybody's given about you. I remember in the UK when people watched the films, there were little screenshots and claps saying, "Yay, our very own." Fantastic is what Kenneth Branagh has said. Nolan and John David Washington said they were absolutely mesmerized by you. So, what was your experience like? And personally, I mean, why do you feel that you were the perfect Priya?
Uh, well, the brief was she's a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I think I look like a sheep. So I think, yeah, that was the requirement for that character, and I think I fit the requirement. That's how I got the part. Yeah.
So, what was it like when they came to you with the script? You auditioned for it as well. What was your first reaction when you went through that script?
I didn't go through the script. I was given the an edition, a two-page edition, and I got completely. I was so scared because 2 pages, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, and so I turned around and said, I don't do auditions. I couldn't say I can't do it, obviously. So I said I don't do auditions, and Barhal, some better sense prevailed on me. Thank God for it. And because of all my fears and anxiety, I nearly did not do the film. Okay,
Okay.
because yeah, and thank God, better sense prevailed. And I thought to myself, let me at least give it a shot. If I don't like it, uh, I won't send it. So I did the audition and I sent it across, and then they said that. Um, Christopher Nolan was coming to India for a recce, so they would like to do the audition then. So I went in very happily to do the audition, and yes, and yet I wasn't certain. I was like 90% sure I'm not getting this part. Okay, so yeah, so I went in without any pressure on my mind, and I took my nephew along with me for a picture. I said at least he'll get a picture with Nolan, and that would be fine. I would be very happy with that. And then we did the audition, and he said, we need to gray you a bit. So I thought he's being polite. मुंह पे थोड़ी ना बोलेंगे कि आपको part नहीं दे रहे हैं. Everything in the book which is negative is me. Okay. And when I finally got the part, my God, I couldn't believe that I was even being casted or even thought of being casted. And then I got casted, and then I got terrified. I said, "Oh my God, okay, ye to ho gaya. How am I going to do this? How will I go through this? Angrezi film, Christopher Nolan, kaise hoga, kya hoga?" All that anxiety and anxiousness was there. And but with him, he knows exactly what he wants. So even when he's casting itself, he knows that this is what I want. So I guess he had it figured out, but obviously I hadn't, in my head. So I said, "Can I do some workshops? Please call me there. I need to prepare for this because I'm not a trained actress. So I need every possible help I would want to grasp onto." And they said, "No, we don't need you to do anything. You just come." So I said, "Okay." And I went there. But I guess he knew what he wanted. So what he saw in the audition was what he was looking for. And that's how it all came about. Yeah.
And you were fabulous, and you are the critical link. Do you feel playing an anti-hero in times like this is far more relatable?
I think it's far more relatable, and also uh, it's not your stereotype, where she looks cunning or she has those bits to her. No, she's very plain. She's very clean, very cool. So I think that really worked for her. And as far as I'm concerned, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it because there was no, there was nothing of that sort. She was hard and she was cold, and I enjoyed playing her.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, the first time when you walked in on set with Bobby, took your very first shot, what happened? And today with Tennant, what has changed?
Well, it's just that that first audition I gave was 50 years ago, and and 50 years. Yeah, I've been here for 50 years, and 50 years later, I've done this edition, and the energy I think in my first edition was a lot more nervousness and tension. And I remember I had to walk down the steps for the shot for Bobby, and because I was so nervous, I jumped. I think 6 steps, and I landed straight down. And they said, "Wow, kya shot diya?" And I was like, "Oh no, that was just my nervousness," you know. And so yeah, and then this time too, I did the readings, and I did the first 2 takes, and the third take I went blank, and I said, "So this is what happens to me." So he said, "Don't worry, just have a cup of tea and come into it again." So it's still the same. Nothing has changed really.
Wow. So, I mean, your first film was all about Bobby. She was the protagonist. Then you've done movies like Rudali, there has been Leela, and, Cocktail, Finding Fanny. What do you feel women characters have finally evolved in Indian cinema? And the one role you would never take up as an actor?
Uh, Somewhere where I have to sob a lot and wallow in self pity. No, no, I can't do it. I look so fake, even if I tried my best. So yeah, not a soppy role for sure, for sure. I always thought I was very strong, and I wasted a lot of my youth trying to. I thought I can fight, I can do action scenes better than my male co-stars, and so I did a lot of silly films also. But I like to play the dacoits, the inspector, So they are crazy films, but हाँ मुझे ताकत दिखानी है, strength दिखाना है. So I guess that is the way I saw it. Yeah.
But are you happy with the kind of narratives that are now? I mean, in a career spanning, 5 decades, are you happier with the narratives now?
Oh, definitely. But I do feel that the narratives for women were even better before my time. Before my time, the roles were much nicer for women. They were fabulous roles. And I think we're getting there. But what's changed today is that there are very good roles being written for us at 60, which wasn't there before.
True.
So even for the male actors and for us, for our female actors, the roles are better, meatier, more interesting.
And also, ma'am, what's your process like? I mean, it's an illustrious career. What is your process like as an actor? Are you just a director's actor? Is it impromptu? How does it work with you?
I'm completely a director's actor, completely a director's actor. And yeah, it's better for me not to go impromptu because sometimes I go too high, so I have to be like pulled back and say, no, cut a little less, a little less. And yeah, sometimes you feel that because you're not animating enough, you're not acting, And I think as you get older, I think that gets more fixated in the head. And so, yeah, I have to control myself now and sort of, it's okay, it's all right to underplay. Yeah.
And also, the Mumbai police had a meme that said, "There are people who need us in the future." Your dialogue again. Did you watch that? Did you see that meme?
Pardon? Sorry.
Mumbai police had a meme where you said your
Oh,
dialogue.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, that was lovely. That was lovely. That was nice.
So, have you watched the complete film, or you haven't as yet?
Darling, I read the script, I've watched the film, I've acted in it, and yet I have to still see it again 2 times more because he's so brilliant with his screenplay and there are so many layers that you can only sort of enjoy the second time round and the third time round, and then you're like, oh, this is what this meant. So, this is what this meant, and that's the beauty of his films. And I thoroughly enjoy going back to his films because then you get those little jigsaw pieces which he sort of put through all throughout, and he just weaves his gems so beautifully into his screenplay. So it's a pleasure watching these films again and again.
Awesome. Are you actually personally a fan of this genre, the sci-fi thriller genre, yourself personally? Or are
I
you
am.
romantic?
Or am I a?
Romantic, a die-hard romantic.
No, far from it. Do I even look like it? No, no, I'm far from it. And his first film, first film that I saw of his was The Prestige, and for me, that was a cinematic moment. That is cinema, where when it transports you into another world completely. I mean, you're gobsmacked. It just takes over, and I think that was a brilliant film for me. And I've seen it 4 times. Yeah, and the fourth time I got another part which I missed. So that's the way it is. And having said that, I want to say that I want to see it once more to enjoy it, because it's so brilliant. He's so brilliant.
Thank you so much. So lovely speaking to you, ma'am. Well, it's really been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.